Let's get started. This is the speaking test of International English Language Testing System taking place as CGEG Pudalisara Kathmandu, Central number 32102. The examiner is Dhruva Tamang, then examiner number is 6951. The candidate is Asma Swesta, and the candidate number is 69222. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
What's your full name and what can I call you, please?
My full name is Asma Shrestha. You can call me Asma.
All right, Asma. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's get started with part one. Our part one topic is summer. Is summer your favorite time of the year? Why? Why not?
Yeah, I consider summer as my favorite time of the year because I enjoy myself being jolly and joyful during the summertime. Basically, I don't like too much hot place, but usually I prefer being in I prefer summer seasons rather than winter seasons.
All right. What do you do in the summer when the weather is very hot?
When the weather is scorching hot, I prefer going to swim. Although I don't know swimming, although I'm not engaged in swimming, I prefer going swimming. Apart from that, I also enjoy going to have some ice creams with my friends.
Do you go on holiday every summer? Why and why not?
Not usually, not every time, but yeah, I've been to Pokhara during summertime with my friends and my families, which basically was a very crucial time and very precious time for us.
Did you enjoy the summer holidays when you were at school?
My answer will be yes. I do used to enjoy the summer holidays during my school time. Although we used to get only 7 days holiday, but during that time I was a child, and getting a holiday was like getting an opportunity to be away from homeworks, assignments and all. So yeah, I definitely used to enjoy.
All right, now let's talk about where do you live? Where do you live in your country?
I live in Kathmandu. I'm from Ilam, but recently I've been residing in Kathmandu.
Is it an interesting place to live there?
Yeah, definitely. By far, I've been enjoying living here, so it definitely is an interesting place for me to stay.
Would you live in the same place in the near future or somewhere else?
Not really. I would not prefer living in Kathmandu back in the future.
All right.
I would choose somewhere else because this place definitely has a lot of facilities and infrastructures which will be important. Beside that, the lack of nature or the lack of greenery, this place is the Kathmandu definitely has no place for
all right, so
fresh air.
What do you think are the drawbacks of living in Kathmandu?
Talking about the drawbacks, I think basically people will face a lot of noise due to vehicles, and also there also lack of pure water. Water supply is continuous, but beside that, people will face a lot of problem in contaminated water and all.
Why do you think all these problems are occurring these days? What are the reasons of these drawbacks, these problems?
I would definitely blame the government besides this reason, because proper guidance and maintenance is lacking, which is why these problems are occurring day by day.
All right. Now let's talk about hobbies and interests. What hobbies and interests are basically popular in your country?
I think hobbies also differ from males and females. Males or boys generally are engaged or involved in gamings and sports, whether girls are more engaged nowadays towards dancing. There are various platforms nowadays, which is why girls are more engaged towards making TikToks. It is obviously hobbies for some people.
All right, so what kinds of hobbies you used to have as a child?
For me, when I was a child,
Mm-hmm.
I used to prefer playing badminton a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically my favorite thing to do during my leisure time.
All
Whenever
right.
I used to be free from my assignments or homework or anything, I used to go play badminton. Even though I was not very professional at badminton,
Okay.
I used to enjoy it.
Do you think the parents should guide the children to choose their hobbies? Why or why not?
And should.
Yes, parents should guide the children to choose their hobbies.
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
think parents should guide. No, basically, parents should not guide
Mm-hmm.
because hobbies is something that comes from within.
All right.
Everybody should follow what their inner voice tells them to do. So,
Thank you very much. This is in a part one. Now let's move on to part two. So basically, what happens in part two is that you will be given cue card and you'll have to speak for a couple of minutes.
okay.
If I stop you, don't worry. And your part two topic is describe a luxury item you would like to own in the future. You should say what item would like to own, you would like to own, what this item looks like, why you would like to own this item, and explain whether you think you will ever own this item. So here's a cue card and pencil. Now you have 1 minute to think. You can make some note if you wish during the preparation time. Now you have 1 or 2 minutes to speak, and your time starts now.
There's definitely a luxury item that I would want to own in my future, which happens to be a luxury car named Mercedes G-Wagon. I've always dreamt of buying this car because not because I'm more involved or engrossed in vehicles or cars, or I don't even know much about the specifications of cars or vehicles, any kind of vehicles. Still, I like myself owning something which I have been dreaming of since my childhood. Talking about its appearance, Mercedes G-Wagon is a car that looks that has a very heavy appearance, which attracts me towards it. I don't know much about its specifications. Still, I prefer buying it. Basically, I would call it my dream, not just mine, but my father also wants me to see achieving something great in my life, which is why I prefer. I want to buy this luxury item, buy the car as my luxury item. Talking about whether I think I will be able to buy this item or not, own this item or not. I definitely doubt sometimes upon myself whether I'll be able to get through it or not. Still, my self-esteem and my willpower is something I believe in, and I definitely think that I will do it or make up to it one day for sure. Except that this car is something I prefer buying because of its basically it's about its appearance, and yeah, I call it as my dream, so I want to buy it.
Thank you very much. This is the inner part two now. So part 3 topic is all about expensive items. So can I have the paper and pencil back?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's talk about expensive item. Which expensive item would many young people in your country like to buy?
Nowadays, motor vlogging is very common in our country. As we all know, youngsters are more adventurous and curious about vehicles, cars and all. Beside that, in our country nowadays youngsters are more engrossed in not just male but also female motor bloggers are very famous, which is why I think youngster will prefer buying motorbikes.
Okay. How do the expensive items that young people want to buy differ from those that older people want to buy?
Yeah, I think there is a huge difference between the thinking of younger and older people, because younger people definitely thinks of getting assets rather than getting any liabilities, because they will be thinking about long term. Their mindset is for long term, your long term thoughts and all, which is why I think they will be buying golds and all for as compared to the youngsters. They will be buying mobile phones as their luxury item, or they will be preferring to buy vehicles, motorbikes as their luxury item.
All right. Do you think that people are more likely to buy expensive items for their friends or for themselves?
I think people are more likely to buy items for themselves, because I prefer buying things for myself rather than buying for my friends. But beside that, I prefer buying things for my families, because during when I was a child, my parents definitely did a lot for me. Still they do.
All right.
But when I'll grow up, I think I'll definitely do something for me, for myself and for my parents.
Okay, now let's talk about rich people. How difficult is it to become very rich in today's world?
I find it very difficult. It's not that before it used to be easy, but nowadays it is quite difficult to find opportunity in the context of our country. People are not able to find opportunities freely as per their skills or as per their experience. People even if they will find the opportunities, they will not be paid as per their skills, which is why it is very difficult to be rich in the country. And it is obviously the main reason, which is why people are flying overseas.
Okay. Do you agree that money doesn't necessarily bring happiness?
To some extent, I agree. To some extent, money does bring happiness to some extent, but it's not. Money is not everything. Money does not buy relationships. Money does not buy friendships. So I think beside money, we also have relationships, friendships that we have to maintain, which is why I think money does not necessarily buy happiness.
All right. In what ways might rich people use their money to help the society?
Rich people can definitely help the society by investing on their money, some amount of their money on charity, creating awareness program for people, or even distributing sanitary pads or anything, any goods or items to poor people, because they won't be able to afford them. Some people are not even able to afford shelter for themselves in our country. So yeah, I think rich people can help them in getting those.
Do you think you'll be able to become rich in the future? Why and why not?
About this question, I somehow think I'll be rich, and somehow I think I question on myself whether I'll be on that position or not, because of the current situation. Because
let it be interrogated.
Yeah, people are nowadays we are facing a lot of financial countries. Not only in our country, the financial crisis is also in overseas, not only in Nepal, but even overseas we are facing. So I doubt sometimes, but yeah, hopefully I'll be.
All right. Thank you very much. This is the inner part 3 as well.
Thank you.